Hello everyone. In this video we will learn the concept of proportion. This is a topic of class 10th. So before we start with the proportion, let us understand the meaning of ratio. I am sure you have done ratio in earlier classes, but let's recap it so that you can understand proportion in a better way. So meaning of ratio is comparing two same quantities. Comparing same quantities with same units by dividing. So this thing only you have to understand, and I will just take one example so that this thing you can understand. Comparing same quantities with same units by dividing. So I'll take one example. Two students are there, student A and student B. Student A got 10 marks in maths test. Since we are doing maths, so I'll take the example of maths. Student A, he got 10 marks out of 20 and student B got 20 marks out of 20. So if we want to compare, let's divide them. So division we'll do in fraction form. So A by B is 10 by 20, 10 into 1, 10 into 2. So I can write A by B is equals to 1 by 2, or if only B I just shift to other side. So A will be 1 by 2 into B, or half of B. See, we compared by dividing. After dividing we got this result, that marks of A, since we are comparing marks of A is half marks of B. You can see 10, 20. So we will take another example. So before, see, we were comparing marks, so same quantity and marks, they are already in numbers. So unit is also same, no unit of marks, it is simple 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us compare one quantity which has units also. Two babies are there, baby A and B. So weight of infant A, I can say it is 3 kg, and weight of infant B, it is 6 kg. So let's take their ratio, let's find their ratio. So ratio means comparing. We are basically comparing by dividing. Quantities are same, both the quantities are weight we are comparing. The units are also same. This is also kg, this is also in kg. So we can only, whenever we find ratio, then the quantities should be same. Here also both the quantities were marks, and secondly their unit should also be same. So let's find their ratio. Ratio means dividing. So A by B, we will always do division by fraction. If any cancellation is possible, we can do 3 and 6. 3 into 1, 3 into 2. So A by B is equals to 1 by 2. Since we are comparing, again we can shift one quantity to other side. So B if I shift to other side, again I will get A, because B here it is in division form. So if I shift to other side, it will change to multiplication form. So A, since we are comparing weight, so weight of A is half the weight of B. See, we have compared. So this way we find ratio. Any more depths we don't have to go, only this thing you should remember, that ratio we find by dividing two quantities. Dividing we do by writing the numbers in fraction form, then we do cancellation, and in reduced form we have to keep on doing cancellation until this fraction it is in its reduced form. See, after this, after 1 by 2, no more cancellation is possible. Here also after 1 by 2, no more cancellation is possible. And another thing you can remember here, so whenever we take ratio, in ratio, if we are taking the ratio of A by B ratio we write as A is to B, these two dots, they are a symbol of ratio and they are pronounced as is to. A is to B. So whenever we find ratio, this number or this quantity which will be written as a denominator, it cannot be equal to 0. This quantity, it cannot be equal to 0. If we are finding the ratio of A is to B, same way if we are finding the ratio of B is to A, that means we will find B by A. In that case, A cannot be equal to 0 because we cannot divide any number by 0. So for ratio, you can just remember all these things. We compare the same quantities by dividing it and their unit should also be same. And now let's move towards the proportion. So proportion means when two ratios are equal. When two ratios are equal, they are said to be proportional to each other. So I have taken the ratio of, let's understand it by taking again example. So A by B, when I took the example of marks of students, the first example which I took, marks of student A is 10 and marks of student B is 20. Both these are the marks, that's why I took ratio, I found ratio. So A by B, I got half. Then another example I took, so I will just replace that by C by D because it will be same only then. So another ratio I took, weight of babies, that example which I took. So it was the weight of first baby, it was 3 and the second one it was 6. So when I took ratio, it was like 1 by 2 I got. So C by D is also 1 by 2. Now we can see the ratio of A by B is also equals to 1 by 2 and the ratio of C by D is also equal to 1 by 2. So which means A by B is equals to C by D. That means the two ratios are proportional to each other. Simple words, just remember, when two ratios are equal, that means they are proportional to each other. So in proportion, four quantities can be there. First two, they should be of same kind and same units. These two, they should be of same kind and same unit. See, these two, A and B, they were marks. C and D, it was like weights, kg was the unit. So both are different but they are equal. So that is why separately if we see, they can be different quantities and they can have different units, but they are equal, their ratio is equal. So that is why they are proportional to each other. So four quantities are there in when we take proportion. So now how to write it? A ratio, I have already told you, it is written by two dots. A is to B and this also C is to D, pronunciation is to D, and this proportional, this sign of equal to we will use while doing the questions of exercise. So but it is written as this, the sign of proportionality, double dots. So this is one single dot for ratio 2 and this 2 times when we write, this is a symbol of proportionality. So it is written as A is to B is proportional to C is to D. And this D1, see, four quantities are there. A is the first proportional, B is second, C is third and D, it is fourth proportional. So you can remember this. In proportion, like I have told you, these two should be same and these two quantities should be same, so we can solve it. Now one formula is there, again I will write it down. So that formula we can use while solving the questions. When A is to B, it is proportional to C is to D. Then in that case, we use one formula, that is, see these middle ones, these are known as means, middle ones. B and C, these are known as means. and these outer ones, C, A and D, these are known as extremes. So in proportional, when two ratios are proportional, then product of means it is equal to product of extremes. This formula we will always use to solve the questions of proportion. So that means means are B into C. B into C, it is equals to A into D, because extremes are A and D and means. So you can remember means like middle, from M you can remember, and extremes are the outer one. So A into D. Always we can use this formula. In this type of proportion, 4 different quantities are there. Now we have another kind also, in which we have only 3 quantities. Only A, B and C. Only 3 quantities are there. So that is continued proportion. Continued proportion. In continued proportion, only 3 quantities are there. That is A, B and C. A is the first proportion, then B is the mean proportion, mean proportional, or you can say C is the third proportional. So only 3. So here in continued proportion, these quantities, when A is to B, is proportional to B is to C. Only 3 quantities are there. A is to B is proportional to B is to C. Then these 3 quantities are in continued proportion. So we can, while solving, see this is a symbol of ratio and this is a symbol of proportion. So while solving, we can write it as A by B is equal to B by C. B by C. So now here if we do cross multiplication, see B will go there and C will come this side. So A into C, because C is getting divided this side, so on changing the side it will get multiplied. Same, B is getting divided this side, on changing the side it will get multiplied. So A into C is equals to B into B, or we can say A into C is equals to B into B is B square. So this formula we can use while calculating the questions related to continued proportion. So in continued proportion, again one thing you always have to remember, see when we did simple proportion in which 4 different quantities were there, I told you first 2 quantities they should be of same kind and same unit, and last 2 they should be of same kind and same unit. But when we are dealing with continued proportion, see all the 3 quantities A, B and C, all 3 they should be of same kind and same units. Units means like kg, kilogram, kilometer, meter, so all these are units. Because see here we are taking ratio of A by B. So I already told you while I discussed ratio that we can only find ratio when the 2 quantities are similar. So that is why these 2 quantities A and B, they should be of same kind. And here we again take the ratio of B is to C. B is to C means then these 2 should also be similar with similar units. So that is why when we deal with continued proportion, all the 3 quantities they should be of same kind and same units. Now let's start with exercise 7a and do the questions. So in first question of exercise, it's mentioned find the 4th proportional to this. So in first part, A, B and C is given to us, like I have already told you, D is the 4th proportional. So I will just write in this way, A is to B, it is proportional to C is to D. So fourth proportional they have mentioned, so that means all these are proportional to each other, that is already given. So that is why this direct result I am applying here. So A is 1.5 is to B is 4.5, the sign of proportionality. Then C, it is 3.5. D, you can write it as D also, or if you want you can write it as X. So these two are means, and 1.5 and X, these are extremes. A and D extremes, B and C means. So we will apply the formula which I have told you. Product of means or product of extremes, both ways you can write, is equals to product of means. So extremes are 1.5 into X. It is equal to 4.5 into 3.5. Now we only have to find the value of X. So whichever thing you have to find, just keep on this side, and this thing we will shift to other side. So this 1.5, it is getting multiplied by X. So when we shift it to other side, it will get divided, because multiplication on changing the side changes into division. Now we can remove the decimal. So this from 4.5, if I remove the decimal, because only one digit is there after decimal, so with 1 I have to write only 10. And whenever we remove decimal from numerator, this digit, it will come in denominator. So same from 3.5, because only one digit is there after decimal, you can see. So when we remove this again in denominator, 10 I have to write with 1, because I remove decimal from numerator. So that is why I am just writing this number in the denominator. Now this 1.5 is also there, 1.5 is in denominator. So let us remove this 0 also. So when I remove this 0, this number is in denominator. So after removing the 0, after removing the decimal, this number I should write in numerator. Only one digit is there after the decimal, so only 10 with 1. Now we can do the cancellation wherever it is possible. So 10 and 10 will get cancelled. Then on 5's table you can do 5 into 3, 5 into 9, 3 into 1 and 3 into 3. So now 3, this 10 we will not do any cancellation, because then directly in decimal form we can convert. So that is why always if the number is like 10, 100, 1000 in the denominator, don't do cancellation, directly convert into its decimal form. Now 3 into 35, 3 into 35 we can multiply 15. So it is 105 by 10, because there 10 is there in denominator. So 105 by 10. Now directly we can write this in the decimal form. See, in denominator I have 10, 10 means 10 with 1. So 105 I will write as it is. From right side I can count the number. So after one digit I can put decimal. So 10.5. So D is equals to 10.5, or fourth proportional of this, it's equal to 10.5. Now let's do the second part. In second part, values of A, B and C are given to us as 3A, 6A square and 2B square. We have to find D. Since they are proportional to each other, that means A is to B, I can write it is proportional to C is to D. Same formula I have to apply, because this D we have to find. D is fourth proportional. B and C, these are means. A and D, these two are extremes. Outer one extremes, middle ones, inner ones are means. So formula is product of extremes it is equal to product of means. So just we have to substitute extremes and means. Extremes A and D. A is 3A, I have just written, and D is not given to us, so let us assume it as X, or D, if you want you can write D only. So A is, I will first write A into D, it is equal to B into C. A is 3A, D I will write as it is D, B is 6A square, C is 2AB square. Now same thing like we did in the previous question also, we have to find D. So whichever thing, see, while solving equation, this is equation only because the sign of equality is there. So while solving equation, whichever number, whichever quantity you have to find, like I have to find D, just keep D on this side, other things all you have to shift to other side step by step. Now only 3A is there with D, and 3A it is getting multiplied. So if I shift it to other side, if I shift 3A to other side, because here it is getting multiplied, so on changing the side it will get divided, because multiplication on changing the side it changes to division. So by I will write 3A. Now if any cancellation is possible, we can do 3A, this A and this A and A will get cancelled. This number 3 into 1, 3 into 2 is 6. Now we can multiply all the things in denominator, only 1 is there because all the things got, all the numbers got cancelled, so only 1 is there, will not write anything. Here it is 2, then 2 into 2, 4 numbers we can multiply, A square and B square. So 2 into 2, 4, all the variables as it is, we can write A square as it is and B square as it is. So the value of D, it is equals to 4A square B square. Now let's do the next question. In second question, it's given find the third proportional to. So third proportional they are saying us to find. So third proportional, this is giving us hint that it is continued proportion. Continued proportion, as I have already told you, in continued proportion only we will have 3 quantities A, B and C. In normal proportion we will have 4 quantities. So here only 3 quantities A, B and C, and A is to B, it will be equals to B is to C in continued proportion. Or if I write it in fraction form, A by B, this is equals to B by C. So we have to find C. Third proportional in continued proportion is C. So A is given to us in mixed fraction, so let's change it. 3 into 2, 6, 7, 8, 8 by 3, B is 4 and C we have to write as it is. So I will just write it in this form, A is to B, see A is 8 by 3 and B is 4. So in continued proportion A is to B, like 8 by 3 is to B, which is 4, it is proportional to, again B is to C, so B only I have to take is to C. C we do not know, so if you want you can write it as X, or C only you can write. So this we can write in fraction 8 by 3 over 4 by 4, then this is sign of equals to 4 by C. Now 8 by 3, this 4 also let us write in fraction form, so that we can write it in this way. See, when two fractions are getting divided, middle ones or the inner ones just multiply it and the outer ones multiply this, outer ones and inner ones, and this fraction it will remain on its place. That means numerator will remain 8 only and denominator will remain 3 only, and these numbers you just have to change accordingly. So I will just 8 into 1, 8 will always remain numerator and 3 will remain denominator. So 8 into 1 by 3 into 4. See, these two I have multiplied and these two I have multiplied. So, whenever two fractions are getting divided, write it in this way. It is equal to 4 by c. 4 by c. Now, we can multiply. 8 into 1 is 8, 3 into 4 is 12 is equals to 4 by c. Now, we have to find c. This c we have to find, and if we have to find this c, see this c should be in numerator, but here it is in denominator form. So, let us do cross multiplication. Cross multiplication means this denominator of this side I will just shift to the numerator of other side, because here it is getting divided. So, when I shift it to other side, it will get multiplied. Division on changing the sides, it will be changed to multiplication. So, same with this 12 also. 12 we can shift to other side. Here it is getting divided. So, when I change its side, it will get multiplied. Now, it has become similar to like product of extremes and product of means. So, what we can do, this c, because c we have to find. So, c we will just write on this side and 8 we will shift to other side, because whatever quantity we have to find, we have to write it on other side, and all the other things we have to shift to other sides. So, c is getting multiplied by 8. So, when I shift 8 to other side, it will get divided. So, let us do cancellation now. 4 into 1, 4 into 2, 2 into 1 and 2 into 6. So, c is equals to 6. C, which is third proportional, and this is equal to 6. Let us do the second part now. In second part, it is given to us. Again we have to find the third proportional. A and B, they are given to us. So, A is A minus B and B is A square minus B square. See, here I have already given you one formula for continued proportion, that B is equals to AC. See, I have written in capital, you can write in small, but here the always here already these numbers are in AB form. So, just to remove any confusions, I have taken this in capital letters. So, B square is equals to AC. See, this result also directly we can use. In the previous question, I didn't use that way also. If you are comfortable, you can do that, this also that way, but if you want, you can use this direct formula of continued proportion and solve this, because this C we have to find. A is A minus B, B is A square minus B square. So, I will just apply this formula, that B square, it is equals to A into C. B is this, A square minus B square. This is B, so its whole square, because in place of B only I will write the value of B in this whole square as it is. A is A minus B into C. Now, A square minus B square, A square minus B square, it is A plus B into A minus B. This is one algebraic identity. So, this identity is equals to this, A square minus B square, it is equals to A plus B into A minus B. So, I will just write its expansion, write it as A plus B into A minus B. Whole square as it is we will write. Only this thing I have just written this thing in the expanded form. See, with this whole square, it is already there. Do not forget about this. This as it is we have to write. A minus B into C. Whenever this whole bracket, with this whole bracket, this whole square is there, that means this power is with this also and with this also, because it's whole square and these terms are getting multiplied. In exponents, in smaller classes we have already studied this thing. So, when whole bracket is there, that means this power, this number, it's with this also and this also. So, separately I will write A plus B whole square into A minus B whole square. Now, this also, say A minus B, we need the value of C. So, what we can do here, we can just keep C on this side and this A minus B we will shift to other side. it is getting multiplied on this side, so when we change its side it will get divided, because multiplication changes to division on changing the side. So a plus b whole square into a minus b whole square upon a minus b. See, what is the meaning of this whole square? A plus b whole square as it is you can write, and a minus b. See, square means that this number is 2 times. So I will just write it as a minus b into a minus b. Square means the number is 2 times, like if I write 2 into 2. 2 into 2 means it is 2 square. 3 into 3, it is 3 square. So square means the same number we are writing 2 times. So this square I have just written again in the expanded form. Why only this one? Because a minus b is in denominator also. So it is equals to c. 1 a minus b will get cancelled. So c, it is equals to a plus b whole square into a minus b. It's equal to c. If you want here, this also you can expand and do the multiplication, or if you want you can leave it here only. A plus b whole square into a minus b. Now let's do the next question. In third question, it's given find the mean proportional between. So mean proportional, if it is mentioned, that means it's a continued proportion. So for continued proportion I have given you formula that b square is equals to ac. This b is mean proportional, because in continued proportion we have 3 quantities a, b, c, and b square is equals to ac. See, a and c in this question, a and c are given to us, b we have to find. So this direct formula we will apply and find the value of b. So b square is equals to ac. Let's write the values. A is this 6 plus 3 root 3. AC means A is getting multiplied with C. A is 6 plus 3 root 3 and C is 8 minus 4 3 root 3. Now 2 brackets are there, they are getting multiplied, so we can multiply. First we will write first term of first bracket, full second bracket we can write. See, this way if you do, you won't make any mistake. So that is why directly if you are like you can do it, no problem. So I am just writing it step by step. First term of first bracket I have written, and then it's getting multiplied with the entire second bracket. Then second term of first bracket, which is 3 root 3, this also we have to multiply by entire second bracket. So whenever this number is written outside the bracket, that means it will get multiplied by both the terms. So 6 into 8, 48, minus 6 into 4, 24, root 3 as it is, plus 3 root 3 into 8. See, numbers we can multiply. 3 into 4, 3 into 8, this is 24, root 3 as it is, minus now 3 root 3 into 4 root 3. 3 into 4 is 12, and root 3 into root 3. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. So 12 into 3. See, this multiplication do little carefully, because root 3 when we multiply it by root 3, it will be changed to, it will become 3. So 3 into 4, 12, 12 into 3, 36. Now minus here b square we can write as it is, because b square is equals to ac. 24 root 3, it's in minus and plus form both. So when the two numbers are same and they are with opposite signs, they will directly get cancelled, because same number minus itself, like 8 minus 8. So when the two numbers they are same with opposite signs, they will always give us 0 answer. So that is why directly we can cancel. So b square is equals to 48 minus 36. 48 minus 36 we can do, it is equals to 12. See, we don't need the value of b square, we need the value of mean proportion. Mean proportional means b, only b we need, but here b square is there. So this square when we shift to other side, see I told you everything whatever is there we have to shift to other sides. So that is why this square also we will shift to other side, and when we shift this square to other side, it will be changed to square root. Now we can solve it. Square root of 12, 12 is not a perfect square, so we can just make the factors. 2 into 12 is 2 into 6 is 12, 2 into 3 and 3 into 1. So 12 we can write as 2 into 2 into 3. So these 2's we can write it outside and root 3 inside. So b is equals to 2 root 3. In second part, again we have to find the mean proportional. Mean proportional means this b we have to find, the middle one. So b square is equals to ac, because small a and b's are given, so that is why I have written in capital. So b square is equals to ac. Same formula we will use to find the mean proportional. So b square, it's a into c. A is this, a minus b, and c is a cube minus a square b. So we will substitute the values of a and c. A is a minus b, c is a cube minus a square b. So b square as it is we will write a minus b. Now if we see this term we can see here a square. A square is there in both the numbers. So like a cube also we know a cube is a into a, or this a into a. When we multiply same number with itself, it will become a square. This a cube is a square into a, and here this is a square into b. So I will just write it in this way. So a cube I can write as a cube, a square into a, dot means multiplication. So a square into a cube. I have explained here, a cube means a into a. 3 times a is getting multiplied by itself. So a into a is a square. So a square into a. So a cube I have just written this way, minus a square b. Now we can see a square is there in both the numbers. So what we can do, we can take it out. A minus b as it is. So just write it down, a square. Now the remaining numbers we can write as it is, here a and here b, because a square we have taken it out. Then a minus b. Now a square I will write here. A minus b, see if nothing is written, that means all the terms they are getting multiplied. Now a square I have written here, a minus b into a minus b. Again when same number is getting multiplied by itself, this a minus b, just consider it as same one single term, a minus b into a minus b. It will become a minus b whole square. Like a into a, it became a square. A minus b into a minus b, it will also, because same number when we write 2 times, so I can just write it in exponential form also. B square as it is. Now we just have to find mean proportional. Mean proportional means b we have to find. So here this square is also there. Square also we have to shift to other side, because we need b, not b square. So this square when we shift to other side, it will be changed to square root. Square root. So square root we know, meaning of square root is power 1 by 2. So a square, with this a square also we have square root. So I will just write it as 1 by 2. Power 1 by 2 also means square root. Then with a minus b also, this square is there, but then this square root is also there. See, this square root is on both the numbers, a square also and a minus b whole square also. So this square and this square 2 will get cancelled, because powers we have to multiply. This 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So we are left with a into a minus b. See, don't get confused here, like we know directly, if you know the concept. So this square and root will get cancelled, because root means 1 by 2 power. this square and root will get cancelled. So we will be left with a into a minus b. So the mean proportion, this b, mean proportional, it is equals to a into a minus b.